Hey folks, Allison here. Well, today we are celebrating a really important feast day, solemnity, the Annunciation. Now, that is when the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and told her God's plan. But what we forget sometimes is that he asked her permission. It may not have been phrased as a question, but he waited for Mary to give her fiat, her yes. All right, be it done unto me according to thy word. All right, and that's when the Holy Spirit came upon her and Jesus was incarnated within her. So thinking again about this theme of freedom, which is our journey of Lent, God respects our freedom so much that he asked Mary's permission. He didn't just take it. He asked. He sent the angel who explained how it would come about, and Mary said yes. Now, we often are praying for things in our lives. Maybe we want healing, emotional healing, healing in a relationship. Maybe we want to move our lives forward and we seem to be stuck. Here's a question I think you need to ask yourself. Are you giving God permission to heal you, to remove whatever obstacles might be getting in your way, maybe to break attachments that are not healthy? It could be to other people. Could be to things, it could be to food, to drugs, to alcohol, status, right? It could be to social media, whatever it is. If you want to be healed, if you want to move your life forward, you need to give God permission to act in your life. And if let's say you're dealing in a difficult relationship or an estranged relationship, are you giving God permission to work? You know, sometimes we hold on to things so much that we want to do it our way. We can only see one way that this could possibly work out. God is not limited. So think about that as we are finishing up Lent. We're going to be going into Holy Week next week. But we focus on this idea of freedom. You know, our faith, our Catholic and our Christian faith, is the most freeing of any faith that ever existed in the history of the world, because God respects our human freedom. You know, and even though, Christianity grew out of Judaism, but there were a lot of rules and regulations that seemed to be very restricting. Now, there are people on the outside who might think that the Catholic Church has a lot of rules and restrictions, but if you read the Catechism, you find out they are all really liberating. They're really for freedom. It's really understanding our human nature and what works and what doesn't work. So again, if we really, really want to be free, then we have to freely give our consent to God to let him work in our life, to let him heal us. You know, sometimes we say we want to be healed, but we don't really want to be, because maybe our whole identity is wrapped up in being the wounded person, being the victim, being, whatever it is, like having whatever emotional or even physical infirmity. We've become identified by that. So if you want freedom, if you want to really be healed, if you want to move your life forward, now of course, reach out to a Catholic therapist that can help you to see what those blockages might be, or to kind of help you to find that healing you need. Or if it's something where you're stuck all the time and you need to move forward, reach out to a Catholic life coach. But none of it will help you unless you give God permission to act in your life. So just like Mary did. So let's call on our Blessed Mother right now to be that intercessor for us, to learn by her example of how she just listened to God's plan. She didn't know how it was going to happen. Once the angel told her, fine, your will be done. Be it done unto me according to your word. God has a perfect plan for you. He's got great plans for you. Sometimes we need to get out of his way, though. So give God permission to act in your life and watch what happens. God bless you.